actually I'm an accidental cricketer. If you haven't played sport, you're only half educated. Manipulation of who will play and who will not play for 20 years, and I haven't succeeded, Rajiv. If nobody wants to watch it, why play it?
Good morning to all our viewers and all our lovely fans. This is a great morning. We are at one of the most prestigious cricket and football club in the city and one of the oldest cricket club in the world, the Calcutta Cricket and Football Club. Having a guest who's done colours for India as well as done fabulously well for the state of Bengal. I had the good fortune of playing in the times that we won Ranji Trophy, and that was the second time we won Ranji Trophy as Bengal. I'm talking about none other than Mr. Arun Lal. So let's get started and let me introduce Arun to all of you. Yeah. Hi Arun, good morning.
Hi Rajiv, good morning.
Pleased to meet you.
Likewise.
Your journey began with schooling at Mayo and the college at St. Stephen's. We were kind of, I was also ex-Hindu, so we were in the same campus. Was there a specific moment where during your university days where you felt that this is the passion that you got to follow?
Yeah, Rajiv, I tell everybody that actually I'm an accidental cricketer. You know, in school, I played for Mayo, once went for the Rajasthan school trials, did very well, was not selected. So I decided I'm not going to play for Rajasthan. And I was so annoyed. And then I came to St. Stephen's in Delhi, and they had a big team, and fortunately for me, about 5 or 6 or 7 actually had passed out of the previous team. They were desperately looking for cricketers, so I just filled in, and I started doing well, and so then the game and life takes its own course. But I had no specific ambitions ever that I wanted to play for the country. It's just that I was generally a very committed person. I was more a racket game player. And then I started doing well and I got sucked into it and I loved it.
In 1979, you made the significant move from Delhi to Calcutta. What was it about this city culture that convinced you to make Bengal your permanent cricketing home?
Rajiv, when I first came, I didn't like Kolkata. I must admit, the weather, the entire conditions, language, everything was so alien to me. But I had got my job here, so I had come here. And then I got an offer from, I had passed the exam, that probationary officer State Bank exam, and Bishan, Captain Delhi. I was playing for Delhi, and he said, Arun, you come back, I'll get you, posting in Delhi, and you can play your cricket here. So I thought about it and did actually try to come back, but then I had grown fond of Kolkata in those 3 months, and I thought I had a future. In those days, I believed that I could make a success of my cricket and my commercial career. But as time went on, as you would also realize, that you can't do both. You can do one or the other.
Absolutely.
But you and I both significantly were afforded the opportunity of doing both.
Absolutely.
In those days, and I'm grateful for it.
And it's more of a gamble as well as a trade-off in many ways, isn't it?
Everything is a trade-off.
When we talk about national pride, Piggy, you made your test debut in 1982 against Sri Lanka, sharing a massive 156-run partnership stand with the great SMG, Sunil Gavaskar. How did that immediate success at international level shape your self-belief as a gritty opening batsman that we all know?
That was one thing significant in my life. And let me tell you that 82 I made my debut, but I first came into the Indian team in 1979. I was in the Indian team for 6 test matches as the 12th man, and then I was dropped, and then it took me time to come back in 1982. So there was a lot of pressure trying to make a debut in India, as you know.
Correct.
Everybody, there are so many thousands of very fine cricketers, and you are fortunate enough to get an opportunity. But God was kind. But the problem was that match was played in September. And in Bengal, we don't play cricket in September, nor do we play in the 3 months prior to it.
Correct.
So I was woefully out of form and touch, but at least that helped me to concentrate more. So it was a gritty inning, maybe not the best of mine, but it was a good start, and it helped me going further in my career.
And as you rightly said, those were the days when you uh, made it to the top, but to sustain was a very big task.
Yes.
Because you had people lined up, right? Already in the system,
Yeah.
right? Already in the ranks.
And me more so, Rajiv,
Yeah.
because I was very prolific domestic cricketer. I had everything going for me, but somehow I couldn't actually cement my place in the 11 at international level. I would come, play a few matches, get dropped. 2 years later, come back. I think I made about 8 comebacks.
8 comebacks, you
Yeah,
know, quite a bit.
So
Yeah.
it was a little bit traumatic for me playing for India because
Correct.
I couldn't hold on to my position.
Correct.
But at one point, I felt that maybe I had reason to be disappointed. That was when I played a test match in Calcutta because Gavaskar refused to play, and I scored something like 72 and 56 in 2 innings, and then I was dropped for 3 years.
Looking back at your playing career between 82 to 89, rather 79 to 89 in some sense, what were the most significant structural or technical hurdles you faced while balancing domestic dominance with the pressure of the national side? As you rightly mentioned early on.
Yeah, listen, 79 to 89 was the bowling era
Yeah.
of Test cricket. Every country had really champion bowlers. The West Indies had 4 of them with Roberts and Holding, and then Bishop and people like that. So Australia had their own, England had their own. So it was a tough task. Even Pakistan, that was the Sarfaraz and Imran with the trumped up ball with the...
Did you play Joel Garner? Joel Garner?
I played Joel Garner, but played him in a side match in Barbados.
Okay.
Yeah.
He was another
yeah.
fish to handle.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
But Joel Garner wasn't that fast. He had that awkward bounce, and he was impossible to score against.
Correct.
There was a huge gulf in what we played in domestic cricket and what we went out and faced internationally. So yeah, like in those times, I must say I did struggle.
With a father and uncle who were both deeply involved in the game, how much of your technical discipline was a result of growing up in such steeped cricketing environment?
More than technical, I thought it was mental. You know, because my father he was in the railways and he had the record. I think he still holds the record of playing for 7 first-class states. So wherever he was posted, he'd play for them.
Correct.
And not my uncle, my elder brother, my Tayaji's son, my uncle's son, he was a great influence. He was also in Hindu. He is one of those very, very fine cricketers. Akash Lal was his name.
Correct. Big
who were domestically terrific, just never got a chance to play for India.
And those days, Railway didn't have their own outfit as
Not then, but later on it did come. Later on it did come, and he played. My father played for the Railways.
Oh, okay, great.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is, cricket was discussed. Cricket was talked about all the time at home on the dining table. So naturally, you start imbibing.
On national representation, Bengal has seen a resurgence in Ranji Trophy under your guidance. You've been a head coach for Bengal. How do you evaluate the current temperament of Bengal players when it comes to making the jump from domestic consistency to India cap?
Difficult question. There's a lot of talent. You know, we've got 3 or 4 boys currently in the last 2 years who played for the country. Not many states can boast of that, Rajiv.
Correct.
And yet we underestimate Bengal cricketers. Bengal cricket, I think, currently is amongst the top 5 in the country in all formats, whether it's 20, 50 overs or Ranji Trophy. But like you said, making that final leap to winning has eluded us. Now, obviously, when I think back, it's got to do with the mental makeup. And, you know, there is a saying that winning is a habit and also losing is a habit. So, unfortunately, we have not been able to crack that last hurdle. When we do, I'm sure we are good enough to get 3 or 4 trophies in the next 5 years.
As a coach, you have moved through different eras of talent identification. When scouting for the senior state team, do you prioritize grit and staying power over raw T20 style flair?
Absolutely.
Yeah?
Absolutely. No question about it. You know, when you get to the business end of the Ranji Trophy, it's 5-day cricket.
Correct.
And 5-day cricket, you require a different level of fitness, a different level of mental fitness, and then the grit and determination to stay and complete the job. I really enjoyed my time with the boys. They were spectacular. They were, you know, like I can't tell you how they had this inside inner strength to fight back. Many occasions we were 4 down 60, 5 down 60, and yet we went on to win the match.
And there were good partnerships in between.
Great partnerships. We had a great bowling side. Terrific fielding side. So unfortunate we couldn't finish the job. But then that's how it is. We carry on fighting.
We've been to finals for 4-5 times ever since the last Ranji Trophy.
Absolutely. Absolutely. As the story of India is, every cricketer has a story behind him of struggle, hard work, determination, hunger, grit, you name it. Even the cricketers in Bengal team have very humble beginnings. Not too much facility, and yet they made it for India. Mukesh Kumar, Akash Deep, Shahbaz Ahmed, Ishwaran, they're fantastic players. So a lot is going for them. So now the districts is where the players are emanating out of. Your and my son is overburdened with his school activities, his computer activities. We expect him to be the best at everything and a great human being, great social skills, all that, and also play for India. It's not happening.
Correct.
It's not happening.
Let's have a shade. Like we say that we always need a shade after hard sun. Your transition from the crease to a commentator box and eventually to the head coach dugout, how has your definition of a coach changed? Are you more of a mentor and a mental strategist today than a technical instructor?
Absolutely, especially at this level. Rajiv, I also run an academy, as you know. There it's different because there you're fashioning young minds. So that's a more holistic approach to coaching. We are concentrating on exploiting potential. Okay, I have to understand what you've got in you, and my job is to help you bring out 100% of it.
Absolutely.
My general thinking has been that most of the time in my career as well, I've played at about 60%, 70%. Somehow, something holds you back. You don't play wholeheartedly. It could be tension, it could be stress, it could be expectations, the weight of expectations, all kinds of things. So nowadays, the difference I see from my time playing and now, especially with the advent of the IPL in 2020, young players are playing, freer than we did. They are more unafraid because that's the demands of the game, and that's helping them to play to a greater extent to their potential. So as a coach, like you said, you're a mentor, you're a psychiatrist, you're a father figure. You hold their hand when
you're
they're
one-stop shop in many ways.
Yeah, absolutely. That's how I view coaching. So, and it's a teamwork, like you have an assistant coach, you have a fielding coach, you have a bowling coach, you have a trainer, you have a physio. All of us together work towards achieving that one goal. If he wants to play at a certain level, he wants to run so much, don't tell him you can't run so much, otherwise this will happen to your body. No. So the minute you say you can't do it, you're out of a job, I used to tell them. All right? You just understand what the guy wants and you help him. And you help him achieve it.
Correct.
That's it.
Having been a gritty player yourself, how do you advise young players to maintain the red ball technique without losing the scoring rate required for the shorter format? Because you've got to balance the two.
No coach has a magic wand. And if anybody professes to say, I know how to do it, then stay away from him because he's taking himself too seriously. It's like saying that Mr. Achrekar made Tendulkar. And if he did make Tendulkar, why didn't he make him earlier?
Correct.
Or why didn't he make a few after? More of them.
Yes,
there is a huge importance of coaching and direction and an umbrella and, like I told you, what's required. But don't take yourself too seriously. So I don't have any solution to it, although we keep trying. We are giving range hitting to kids even now. Straight hitting, open your swing out, play more shots. And with the advent of these very daring new shots, that's opened my mind also.
Correct. When you are working with young talent at your academy or at the state outfit, What is the single most important value you try to instill in them regarding their long-term development?
So, number one is self-belief, confidence, self-esteem. Nothing stops me from believing that I am what I am. I am Arun Lal, I'm different. It doesn't make me arrogant or disrespectful. I just keep pepping myself up. Why? When I'm fashioning young minds, I'm trying to tell them that, listen, you are unique. You are one in this world. So play like one, behave like one. You're the same person if you score 100 or you score a 0.
Correct.
Don't be down when you score a 0. Don't
Correct.
fly too high if you score 100. Maintain your equilibrium and value yourself.
The growth of women's cricket game, how can Bengal leverage its district infrastructure, which we are very proud of, to ensure we are producing international stars for WPL and national team? We have, if you see some of the girls who have done really well, they are all from district.
CAB is doing a fabulous job. The structure, you have to understand that Bengal has rain 6 months in the year. Bengal has a paucity of grounds. So infrastructurally and environmentally, we are slightly handicapped when compared to the rest of the country. Cricket at under 13, under 15, under 18 levels. So everything is going fine. Obviously, there's scope for improvement. Women's cricket is the next big thing. I mean, especially after winning a World Cup, it's unimaginable, and it's such an inspiration to the not only to the women of this country, but to people in all walks of life. Winning a World Cup from out of the blue, beating some really, really well-established...
And down and dumps, as you rightly
said. Yes, and fought back and came out of it and won the World Cup. So that is inspirational. That is really going to uplift not only women's cricket, but women's sport all around.
And also, Piggy, that brings us to the point that Bengal has been pioneer in bringing the Bengal Premier League for women first. And then I think Madhya Pradesh did it.
Yes.
Yes. So it was the first one. In a way, they have been the pathbreakers in many senses.
Jhulan is a star. Still is.
She is. And I'm glad to see, that recognition being given. And there is now a parity. There's something which was missing. Beyond the runs scored, what unseen traits do you look for in a player that signals they are ready for high pressure environment of Ranji Trophy final or even an IPL debut?
Like you understand, a cricketer's eye is different, your feel is different, depending on situationally how he's performed. A senior cricketer playing for Bengal, who is, let's say, in the mid-30s, who has been an absolute legend for Bengal cricket. But now if you want to carry on playing, of course you'll score runs.
Correct.
Because you are damn good. Whether you score in these matches is immaterial. What we need now for you is when the quarterfinal, semi-final and final come, that's when you get your...
And scenario based.
And if you can't do that, then don't block another youngster.
Correct.
Because there are two jobs of an association. One is, of course, to provide the infrastructure, create cricketers and try and win domestic tournaments. But more than that, it is to provide cricketers for the Indian team. Grit, determination, hard work, work ethic, intent, hunger intent, and situationally aware.
What is the most frequent mental error you see modern day players making when they try to adapt to their natural game to the demands of franchise cricket?
See a 10-year-old, he's talking about IPL, he's not talking about India. Sadly.
People coming to your academy must be
only IPL. Only IPL. It's now a little difficult to instill that desire into them. Everybody wants to play IPL. So they will play accordingly. Everybody says we've got to save Test cricket. I say, why do you have to save Test cricket? And how can you save Test cricket? If nobody wants to watch it, why play it? So eventually it will be the audience, it will be the economics that will dictate which way cricket will go.
Correct.
Not your or my or nostalgia about it or the heritage of it.
Right.
I love Test cricket. I don't view Test cricket as a 5-day thing.
Absolutely.
I go for one session, lunch to tea, and I think of it as a whole.
I remember, Piggy, your innings in the Dulip Trophy, 187 not out, which you got in Chennai, and how you timed yourself session by session was a treat to watch. And that was one of the innings, and there were many more. And we had the privilege of, sharing the dressing room, and I followed your cricket all through before and after, and I think it's brilliant. How can the CAB further refine the scouting process to ensure that the talented youngsters in the district, like Purulia or Siliguri, which is already in the frame of things, doesn't get lost in the shadow of Kolkata club cricket?
Rajiv, the system here is such that anybody from Purulia who's doing well will eventually come to Calcutta. The case in point is somebody like Ashok Dinda, legend for Bengal. He is from Mednipur. He came, and his is another story. If he played a 2-day game, I'm told that he would play the first day, and the second day he'd go and sleep in Howrah station. And come back and play the next day. So who can fight against grit and determination like that?
Correct.
And he proved it. He played for the country. And he did brilliantly
Absolutely.
And district-wise, there are talent scouts now. CAB has got, very, very fine cricketers and individuals like Ashok Malhotra, IB Roy. So people of substance. And they have an eye. I mean, they've devoted their lives to cricket. So they are there, and I am happy that they're doing a great job.
You started your own academy in 1995, Piggy?
Something like that,
around
95,
that time.
96, yeah.
So how do you see the role of these specialized centers evolving alongside the traditional tough as nails club cricket of Kolkata Maidan?
Our endeavour is to try and make as many cricketers for the second division.
Correct.
Get them going, and once they're into club cricket, then they can move on and come to you if they desire for technical help, mental problems, things like that. But generally we are there doing this kind of a job, providing cricketers for second division.
You think school cricket has also evolved over the period?
School cricket now is being given some importance. I think that's most important. It needs to be given even more consideration, brought even more into the limelight. You need the press for it. You need a lot of advertising for schools cricket, and that will become very competitive, and that's where I think the future lies.
What lessons from your own career, including overcoming health battles, and lessons that you share with players about handling pressure? How can a young cricketer build the mental toughness and resilience needed for a big match situation?
I think it may be different for different people. But eventually it's self-esteem and self-belief. What worked for me was running. I would run 1 hour a day. Every day. And I always believed that yes, it is a fitness routine. It strengthens the body. It makes you strong and lean. But more than that, it is a mental exercise. It's the discipline of it. It's the belief of it. I believe that this is going to help me, and there are times I'm running in the rain, there are times that I haven't slept well and I'm still running, times I've had a stomach upset, I'm still running. So
pushing the blocks.
Yes, it's pushing your frontiers and your mentality, not physicality so much. So that worked for me. It may not work for you, but I generally believe that you have to find a way to push your boundaries. It's like Michael Phelps' story. All medicine, all doctors, all physios would tell him that 5 days a week is what you need of training, and then taper off on the 6th day, 7th day, full rest for your muscles. And he wanted to be better than the others. So he said, I'll train 7 days a week. And they said, are you stupid? You won't win anything. He won 8 gold medals.
From your perspective, what is the one support system, be it financial security or mental health, still lacking for domestic cricketers in Indian context?
Financial, yes. Although it's a lot better. It's not enough for me to fashion my whole career and raise a family on domestic cricket.
Like good old days, we had jobs to do. Now I think jobs are hard to come by.
And IPL has added a huge thing.
That's a sudden spurt.
So domestic cricket now is almost self-sustaining. But one place where I feel that the board really needs to concentrate is Ranji Trophy. First-class cricket. All international cricketers must play. Raise the stakes. raise the prize money to something,
Which
something
they have
huge.
done. They have done little
Not
bit.
enough.
Yeah, not enough.
Rajiv, not enough. It's got to be at least 3-4 times more. Let it come into the public mind. Like the IPL has come because of the huge stakes.
Correct.
I'll give you an example. Kaun Banega Crorepati is such a huge success. Of course, a lot to do with Amitabh Bachchan. But if it was Kaun Jeetega 10 rupeya, so फिर even Amitabh Bachchan couldn't have salvaged it.
Being in the circuit, Piggy, as in the match official capacity, last year when Virat played for Delhi,
What a difference it made.
some of those fixtures were blockbusters.
Yeah.
I mean, the association didn't have ways and means to handle it.
Exactly.
So they were not used to it.
And of course, what about the young person who's making his debut and Virat is there in the team?
Great. What specific steps are needed to bridge the gap between the rural talent and the high performance centers located?
Domujala will be a great injection in the infrastructure of Bengal cricket. We need grounds which are under CAB so you can play. 2-3 revolutionary things that come to my mind. One is that because of our problem with 6 months of rain, why can't we have 1 or 2 grounds which are AstroTurf? So we play during the rains also.
Correct.
What is the problem playing on an AstroTurf wicket? You don't use spikes, that's okay, but you're playing cricket.
Correct.
And that's one thing that we have to think about. The other thing is, I'm not so sure that facilities and infrastructure is all that is required to make cricketers. Sometimes the lack of infrastructure works in your favor. Like it's working for, people like a Mukesh Kumar or an Akashdeep or a Shahbaz Ahmed. No infrastructure, no facility, no coaching, no grounds, no cricket around.
Right. So much of natural talent is on.
And that brings about a hunger, a desire, a desperation. So then you value a chance that you get.
We should also look at the right blend of the soil that we talk about, because sand-based will also help you to absorb, when it comes to wet conditions and all.
Yes.
So it'll be much easier, which is where
But the problem is, same ground is used for hockey, cricket and
that's
football.
the problem. It's a multi-purpose. Was the move from being a player to a commentator and then a coach and a planned career path, or did you find these roles calling to you naturally after retirement?
Yeah, nothing in my life has been planned. Nothing. And I don't even advocate planning your career. I think you have to have a feel for life in every aspect. Whether it is even just sitting and sipping a cup of tea in a club and watching cricket. Let it happen. Let it happen. Too much of planning takes away the instinctive nature of life and the rhythm of life. Commentary came naturally to me because I had a way with words. I had a command over English and Hindi.
Absolutely.
So I could actually put my thoughts into words easier than most. So it came naturally to me and I loved it. And then when it stopped because of my ill health, I never went back to it.
Which is very strange. I mean, I myself asked you as to why you didn't do it. Because it was
there was
doing
no
so
calling.
Well.
I just didn't feel like it. I was ill for about a year. And then when I came back, there was a problem with my diction and it took me another 6 months to get it okay. By which time I had outgrown commentary.
Wow.
And I was wanting to travel and experience, and I have a farm and environment is very dear to me. It's another passion. So I was planting trees and so my life had taken a different course. It wasn't planned. And then Saurav implored upon me to come and do some coaching. I remember I was holidaying in Italy. And he said, come back. I said, no way, let me finish my holiday. Then I'll come back. And I'm glad that he summoned me because I had another 3-4 years of a different dimension to my life, which I really enjoyed. And then I walked away from that as well. Yeah, there also I said, okay, now it's over. Now let's see where life takes me.
Oh, very adventurous, Piggy. I mean, you've been a very progressive mind. You've been a mind which you always wanted to do things differently.
To me, life is about self. It's not about money, fame, glory. Yes, it is. It adds value.
Correct.
But it shouldn't fashion you.
Beyond the Lifetime Achievement Award and the titles that you have attained, what is the lasting impact you hope to leave on the culture of Bengal cricket?
You know, Rajiv, it may sound egoistic, but even if one young player who feels that I inspired him and I helped him, maybe not directly, but just by being there with him in the same team or around him, has helped him achieve his potential, that's how I want to be remembered.
For a young batsman grinding it out in the CAB leagues, what is your one sentence advice for catching the eye at the IPL scouting? It's difficult, but
but play freely.
Play freely.
Yeah. 2020 cricket has also added a lot of value to Test cricket. All tests are being decided. Some 3 days, 4 days. Draw बहुत कम हो रहे हैं. I think it's added value. Because of what the people want. To play freely, CAB needs to ensure that you make really good wickets. Because if the wicket is not true, you cannot produce players for the IPL. And the other thing I feel in Bengal cricket is generally what's happening is, oh, this boy is so good in under 13. Now we'll see him in under 16. Now we'll see him in under 19. Now we'll see him in under 23.
Fast track everything.
Yeah, you have to somehow find ways and convince your selectors have to do this job and your talent scouts that this guy is so good, he's 17 years old, let him play Ranji Trophy now, straight away.
What do you think are the challenges for a coach to groom a player to behave in a certain manner in today's demands of cricket?
Yeah, I've been trying to groom cricketers for 20 years and I haven't succeeded, Rajiv. So it's very difficult to answer that. Like I said, in the last 20 years, how many people have played for India in Bengal? Hardly. How many have played from Haryana? Hardly. How many from Punjab? So it's a vast country. So coaching doesn't only mean producing cricketer for India. It means making a well-rounded, young individual that can handle life better as well. The value of sport. In fact, I believe if you haven't played sport, you're only half educated.
And why I asked this question, Peggy, about this grooming part, not because I'm in the circuit dealing with it, it's also because it's put tremendous pressure on the players. Think about the times when you, Ashok, and everybody was playing and how you were handling or managing situations at the field of play, And now with so much of evidence-based, scenario, so I think the scrutiny is immense.
For 10, 12 years, where there was Tendulkar, Ganguly, Dravid, Lakshman, Sehwag. So how can any next Sehwag come in? Yeah, maybe the guys
they got to make way for the other person to get in.
And they're doing so well. While we look for an era like that, but remember that it's also sacrificing 5 generations of cricketers.
So where do you see the landscape of Indian domestic cricket in the next decade? Will the gap between IPL stars and domestic stalwarts continue to widen?
I hope not.
Okay.
I think the start has been made with the realization after we've started losing Test cricket. I think they need to have 2 or 3 people working in tandem to try and reduce this gap. Come out with ideas. Why not have a IPL type of domestic cricket? Something has to be done for us to actually bring Ranji Trophy to the helm of affairs.
How do you prepare a player for the psychological kill zone of a final over or a crumbling day 5 pitch?
When I was playing, I would convince myself that if the wicket is turning that much, then it's working in my favor. Because I'm standing in the way, bowled and LBW is out of the question now when I'm on the front foot.
Absolutely.
It's turning square. So all I have to guard against is the edge or holding out in the deep. So I would think of it as an opportunity of scoring big runs. So it's how you approach it. Other guy would think, the other guy would think that, oh God, it's turning so much. So you are actually killing yourself. It's positive thinking throughout. Second division cricket. Now, I may be a little controversial here, but second division cricket, all is not well there. There's a lot of, let's say, manipulation of who will play and who will not play.
Oh, okay.
Not necessarily the best are being afforded the opportunity. I'll go to the extent to say that more clubs than not are doing this, manipulating who will play in the team.
I
and
think
who will
which
not.
is where CAP would have a role to play. And
Yes, I think this is where we are going wrong, and it needs to be addressed. I don't know how, but it does need to be addressed.
Sur Mera Tumhara moment. This is something which is interesting. You're part of the Indian pop culture history through that iconic video. Looking back, how does it feel to have represented Bengal in such unifying national moment? It was a pride.
Ultimate. Entire aspect of the unity of the country to the forefront. It was a great song. It was written by my brother and friend who recently passed away, Piyush Pandey. And yeah, that was an iconic moment.
And the legends around. And
Yes,
all.
yes, yes. It was terrific. So I feel very, very honored to be a part of that endeavor.
Piggy, it's been a wonderful morning, and as much as I have enjoyed, I'm sure the viewers were going to enjoy it more, listening and watching you and learn from it. And we really look forward to good days of Bengal cricket, which is continuing and get better with more and more new initiatives. And people like you at the helm of it can make it, possible in every aspect that we think about.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Piggy, for your time, and it was wonderful talking to you.
Likewise. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.